Good day everyone, this is Victor, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is integrating AI and ChatGPT into project management for better FDA compliance. I want to introduce our presenter for today, Charles H. Paul. Charles H. Paul is the presenter of CH Paul Consulting Incorporated, a regulatory training and technical documentation consulting firm. I would like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Victor. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm very excited today to really have you all join us as we explore this intersection of FDA compliance and project management with a special look at how artificial intelligence, especially tools like ChatGPT, can play a role. So we've got a lot to discuss. So let's just go ahead and jump into our content for today. So the first thing that I always like to discuss is, why does FDA compliance really matter? The next thing I'd like to talk about is what is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is one of the artificial intelligence systems that are out there. We've got several learning objectives that we're going to address as part of our training today. So what is it we're going to learn? So we're going to hopefully understand what these FDA regulated environments are, because again, we're setting the foundation. We're going to recognize what those project management challenges are. We're going to explore the AI role, what the role that AI plays within this process, and we're going to identify some best practices for using ethical AI. Now I'm going to add another bullet point here that I didn't put in, and that's I'm going to talk about some future views of what AI is going to bring to the entire regulated industry, within the life sciences. And this is new within the last few days. Now, in terms of what our session is going to be today, we've done the welcome and introduction. We're going to move into the FDA compliance overview. We're going to talk about some AI and ChatGPT applications. It's important that we look at and understand the environments that are regulated by the FDA. So let's talk about GMP. So what is GMP? So GMP are good manufacturing practices. So what is GCP? So GCP are good clinical practice, focuses on protecting the rights and safety and well-being really of participants in clinical trials. Now, the other thing I really want to mention here is the QSR. So the QSR, or the quality system regulation, applies to medical devices. Managing projects in an FDA regulated environment really comes with some unique challenges. First and foremost, the documentation requirements can feel overwhelming. Dive into a deeper situation into why documentation is so critical in these projects. And this is going to lead us into our discussion of AI. There are some common pitfalls that I see over and over again in FDA-regulated projects. When you make decisions on an FDA-regulated project, traceability is absolutely key. Let's wrap up this section with a quick recap. Talk about artificial intelligence, or AI. So at its core, AI simulates certain aspects of human thinking and reasoning. It can recognize patterns. It can draw conclusions. It is a specific type of AI known as a large language model, built by OpenAI, as I've said. Now, AI tools can deliver a lot of value to you as a project manager working in regulated industry. ChatGPT can help during the planning phase of a project. So for starters, one of the biggest use cases for ChatGPT is drafting documents. Another area where ChatGPT can help is knowledge management. There are risks in using AI in FDA-regulated projects. Now, to recap this section, let's really sum up how ChatGPT and AI can support you. Truly practical examples. So one of the biggest time sinks in regulated projects is drafting documents like SOPs, protocols, or technical reports. Another great practical application is using ChatGPT to help automate your project status reports. ChatGPT can also help you to streamline your team updates, which is especially valuable if you manage remote or hybrid teams. Another practical use of ChatGPT is helping you build out project schedules. As we move forward here, imagine you're in a team meeting and someone asks about a specific FDA regulation. So instead of halting the discussion or flipping through their binders, you could use ChatGPT to get a clear, immediate answer to that question. ChatGPT isn't just about answering questions. It can also help you to brainstorm creative solutions. Sometimes projects hit a roadblock. Meeting notes and action items is another spot where ChatGPT shines. So after a meeting, you can feed it a recording or a transcript, and it will create a polished summary. Let's talk about CAPA for a minute, which is corrective and preventative actions, which is vital in regulated environments. Now, we talked a little bit about risk before, so let's kind of dive into this a little bit more thoroughly. Let's look at preparing for FDA audits. So something that always makes project managers nervous. Now, let's talk a minute about GXP. And how it relates to AI. of working with AI and FDA-regulated projects. So think of it like validating any other software. Documenting how you use it is not negotiable. You want to keep detailed records of any AI-assisted task. Now, beyond regulations, there are ethical questions around AI that we have to consider. Let's look at governance, which is really the structure behind safe and effective AI use. Now, one of the most important safeguards is really, in an FDA-regulated setting, is maintaining human oversight. Whether you introduce AI into your projects, training becomes a critical success factor. Let's do a quick recap of ethical best practices. Let's wrap up this section with one final recap. Let's ground this final section in really what matters the most. Your role as the project manager. Now, let's review some specifics about where AI fits into project management workflows. Introducing AI like ChatGPT is really a change management challenge. One of the major benefits of ChatGPT is how it supports decision making. Now, risk management is another area that will help you strengthen. We've talked. Now, modern projects are more distributed than ever before, with hybrid and remote teams really becoming the norm. They can create communication challenges, but this is exactly where ChatGPT shines for project managers. Let's reinforce a critical idea here. AI doesn't replace project managers. It really doesn't. It enhances them. Now, I want to take a few minutes here and talk about how the future is coming around. So let's talk about that for a second. In terms of drug development and clinical trials, it's going to accelerate target identification. From a validation of AI model standpoint, we talk about compliance and oversight challenges, and from a human factor standpoint, the FDA is going to address usability studies showing that AI-driven recommendations do not mislead or overwhelm operators. And finally, from a strategic standpoint, companies will need AI quality systems integrated with existing QMS. Your next steps as a project manager, what you can do to integrate this. In terms of the key takeaways here, let's wrap this up by summarizing the heart of today's webinar. So when you combine solid PM skills with smart technology and strong ethics, you're really ready to lead any FDA-regulated project confidently into the future. Now, thank you for joining us today. That FDA compliance is really going to shape every project step that you do, and it really does within the life sciences. And things get complicated as we integrate AI, certainly AI into that. And certainly the ChatGPT supports and does a lot of things as we talked about. It supports faster, smarter execution of all the project tasks that you have to do. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you for participating today. Hope you got something new and learned something new out of this, and hope to see you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Charles. So that concludes the session for today, and thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Charles.